Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So on today's video, we're going to be using this Operation Right Home sketch. It is number 218, and they have on here the mats and the pattern paper sizes. So you can have it matted. If you don't like the matte look, then you can always just do the top measurements. And just pause here if you want to take the time to write down the sketch or the sizes or cut out your pieces first, and then you can join me coming up right here. So I've already pre-cut everything. I'm still rocking a missing nail. This one is a different finger, but we're just going to keep moving. So on this particular one, because I used the 12 by 12 paper pad, I did go around the edges with my distress ink, the black soot, just to try and make it look neater. If for sometimes certain cardstocks, they have that is a much brighter white edge, and sometimes you want that, and sometimes you don't. So on this particular instance, I did go around on some of the edges to make sure it was all cleaned up. Now this long sheet, you can see here I take it off because when I laid it down the first time, I laid it down as if all around the four edges there was a mat, but actually this one, they're the same length, and then you just have a little bit of a matte edge on the top and the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and line it up. Once again, using the glue and the ATG tape, just so that way I have time to move stuff around in case if I need to adjust where I've put it down. Trust me, it is very helpful. Now, once again, on this particular sketch week, I guess I should say, we are doing one the traditional way, the way that the sketch itself is set up, and then we're also going to set up one where we flipped it and turned it on a vertical instead of the horizontal. So just laying down our focal image, and then we're going to place this one. So this one I'm doing the version where I've flipped it. And even though the way that they had the banner, it would have gone this way, up and down, I've changed it to this way. Only because it works better for the composition. And we're still going to be able to get how they have the three dots. We're still going to be able to do that same technique, except on these, we're going to use brads instead of Nuvo drops. Now, before we get to that part, I had decided that I wanted to use some chipboard pieces and possibly some stickers. It just depends. So they have these two clipped chipboard pieces that look like clips, and so I grabbed one of the stickers, which looks like a tab of paper, and I'm putting one of the clip chipboard pieces on top of that and the smaller one right next to it. And then I decided to grab the sticker sheet and add the flower pot right there on the bottom right. And then for this one, the only thing I'm going to add is a bunch of flowers on the chipboard pieces. And I'm just going to take that one off. And sometimes what I like to do, you will see me use some glue on the chipboard pieces, only because sometimes the sticker back, to me, they don't stick well or they don't stay long. And so using the glue, it helps keep it more secure. So I'm bringing out my mat, and I'm using the Tim Holtz ruler to measure where I'm going to put the brads. There are little tiny holes all along that one edge of the Tim Holtz ruler, and I just measure out and try to evenly space where I'm putting my holes for the brads. And then once I've made the punctures, then I move the ruler and just make sure to finish punching the holes. And we're going to press that down. And there's our three brads. On that particular one, I did use the biggest size of the kind of like the rose gold. And then on this one, because of how we have it set up, I'm using the smaller brads, but I can still get the three in. And once they're all in, I'm going to flip it over and open those up. And now I do find that on the smaller ones, sometimes it's easier just to use your fingernail. Um, and then sometimes it's easier to use the pointy end of the tool here. But the main thing is just getting them open and trying to get them to lay flat as possible. And if it takes, or if it's too bulky, you could always use foam tape on your card front to keep it, up, give it a little bit of dimension. For me, I'm just using some double-sided tape that I have in my stash. It was actually given to me from a friend. And I'm just using this to cover because I want to say it's an inch thick, and uh, let me make sure that before I say it was an inch. Yeah, it's an inch wide, and um, it just goes down easier, but it is super sticky. But I still use some of the glue because remember the glue, even though it holds really well, it gives me freedom to move this around a little bit if I put it down in the wrong spot. And we're just going to attach this one as well to the card base. And when I use white card bases, I don't tend to mat on the inside. If I'm using like the craft or the black cardstock, then I will mat sometimes just to give it a little bit more weight, only because some of those colors that I have are a lighter weight. Some of the white cardstock I have right now is like 110, I think, on the weight, so it's a little bit heavier, so it doesn't need to have a lot of layers on the inside. But there you have it. These two cards are complete, and we've used the pattern paper with some chipboard elements and a few stickers on the one. Okay? So thank you guys for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And I will have links down below to this paper collection in the boutique. I will also have links to videos at the end to our previous Friday sketches. And I will look forward to seeing you guys with our next video, which will be this Sunday. Just keep in mind we do videos Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays as of right now. Down the future, who knows, we might add in another one here and there. All right. Thank you guys again, and I hope you have a great weekend.